I feel it's such an important topic that I feel the need to talk about it here on IG as well. And that is the attack on masculinity. The all-out attack on masculinity. Pay attention to Netflix series these days, or even just movies, just general movies. If you pay attention to the masculine role and the feminine role, you will see that there's been a complete swap, a complete reversal in the roles. The male characters, the masculine characters, I should just say the male characters, conduct themselves in a very emasculated manner. And the female characters tend to be quite masculine and standoffish and all the sort of characteristics you would typically associate with a male, with a man. And I was actually watching a movie a couple of weeks ago with my kids. And because this was so pronounced, I had to give commentary about the bloody movie to my kids in the meanwhile, so that they don't become negatively brainwashed by it. It was a movie called Ready Player One. You may or may not have heard of it. It's a kids movie, VR, virtual reality. And I couldn't help but notice that the main character, who's a young man, he fell head over heels in love with this girl immediately. Like this avatar female character. He fell in love with her straight away. And not just that, not only did he fall in love with her, but then he goes and professes her love to her. Like after 5 minutes of knowing her, I love you, I can't be without you, and all this stuff. Okay, that's him. Classic simp behavior, right? But as for her, how did she react to that? Very standoffish, very stoic, sort of like emotionless, stoic, standoffish behavior. Characteristics you might normally associate with a male who is a bit standoffish and doesn't want to show his emotion. That was her behavior. And I see this trend over and over and over. And what's the problem with it? The problem with it is this. Our young men are growing up on a diet of these types of programs. And it's everywhere, like a disease, a sickness, a mard. It's everywhere, where men are encouraged to behave in a very emasculated manner, an effeminate manner. And equally, the girls, the message they receive is twofold. Number one, I should conduct myself in a stoic, emotionless manner. And number two, I expect a man to simp on me. Because this is an education. Whether we like it or not, whether you accept it or not, the truth of the matter is, if you are exposed to this type of material, this type of content on a regular basis, it will start to permeate your brain, your thinking, how you think. Your mind will start to become permeated by this khara. Absolute khara. That's what it is. You might have seen Prison Break. Anyone seen Prison Break here? If you remember the character Sucre, and I talk about this a lot because, oh my days, I only watched Prison Break recently, so I'm new to the whole Prison Break scene. I couldn't help but notice how disgustingly simpy and blah Sucre was over his girlfriend / fiance Mary Cruz. Even to the point where once she decided that she no longer wanted to be with Sucre, but she wanted to be with his cousin, and that she was going to marry his cousin, my guy Sucre still breaks out of prison to ride halfway across the country so he can stop her at the altar from marrying her cousin. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? What are you talking about? If she even thinks of another man, ma'as-salama, goodbye. And young men are growing up on a diet of this khara, thinking that this is the way to behave. This is how a man should be towards a woman. And then they get out there in the real world and they realize, hold on a minute, I'm behaving in this way, and yet girls are not responding to me the way that they respond in the movies. They are not responding to me the way that they respond in the movies. And all of a sudden, you have guys literally struggling with women, and the only thing that they can think of is, I don't know what I do wrong. I'm so nice to her. You know, I call her all the time. I make sure everything's okay. I drop everything at her beck and call. I'm there for her whenever she needs me. And I say to those young men, that is your problem. That's what you're doing wrong, ya bin ammi. That's what you're doing wrong. You are responding to her every beck and call, dropping on one knee whenever she needs you to, bending over backwards to please her. Hai al-mushkila. This is the problem. There's no challenge. You have no boundaries, no values. You don't implement any consequences. She can basically get away with murder. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Because this is the diet that myself and you we have been raised on this. And it is not serving us. It's doing us a great disservice to both the men and the women. The women are also negatively affected by this, by the way. Why? Because they have to pair up with us. So they end up pairing up with men whom they find it difficult to respect. They find it difficult to desire. And they can't understand why. He's so nice to me and yet I don't desire him. I just finished listening to Esther Perel's Mating in Captivity. I recommend this book, but be careful with it. Okay, be careful. She gives a lot of advices that are very anti-Islam, let's put it that way. Such as, for example, no problem in swinging. If you know what swinging is where you and your partner go out for the weekend and sleep with other people. Anyway, I took the benefits from this book, and there were many benefits. And I've lost my trail of thought. Where was I going? Anyway, my point is this, is that these behaviors are, yes, affecting the women as much as they are affecting men. Men are struggling because they find it hard to attract women, and women are struggling because they can't understand why they're not attracted to these men. So both parties struggle with this khara behavior. So yeah, nice guys finished last. That's right, Walid, unfortunately. That's exactly the case. So I'm going to open the floor, inshallah ta'ala. Who would like to come on this live and bash me for some of my videos, if that's what you want to do? One thing. If you want to come on this live, we must speak to each other with mutual respect. I had someone come on the live the other day. I had to cancel her. If you start speaking to me with disrespect, I will remove you immediately. If you want to have a discussion, by all means. Muhammad, my guy, Jazakallah khair. Right. Questions. Throw your questions in the comments. If you want to come on the live, feel free to send me a request. How to finish first? Abdi, what does that mean? Abdurrahim. What does that mean exactly? Alright, let's see who we got here. Bismillah. Muhammad. Go live with Muhammad. Muhammad Ayman? Muhammad Aman. Muhammad, I've just accepted your request. Ahlan, salam alaikum.
Hello, salam alaikum. How are you, everyone?
Alhamdulillah. كيف الحال Muhammad? How you doing, akhi?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, brother Mahdi?
I'm good, Jazakallah khair. What you got for me, akh?
Jazakallah khair. First of all, I want to say hi to you and to everyone who's with us now, who's watching this. And I want to express to you that I appreciate what you are doing, and it's good what you are doing.
Shukran, akhi.
It's good what you are doing. And I hope you reach your goal. You raise awareness to the people, and we make our community, especially our Muslim community, they become better and they have more awareness. Yeah, and we can influence other people to understand our religion. And hopefully, inshallah, people join our religion.
Barakallah fiqh. Jazakallah. Do you have any questions, Akhi Muhammad?
I have a question, brother. So, I think everything, we as humans, we first survive on oxygen, then we survive on money. Okay, money is important, but the idea is that we should not be slave to money. I mean, we should be the masters. So the thing is, I'm going to speak about myself, for example. I have a job. I'm able to satisfy myself, but I'm not able to, how can I tell you? I cannot afford now to get married, to have a house. Even if I can afford to get married, let's say, I cannot afford to have a second wife. So this is the main problem. You get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have read many books about. I increase my financial IQ. I read many books. It will give you some ideas, but I don't know. I find difficulty to improve my situation. So, what do you advise me to do?
What have you? I'm presuming you've been in contact with sisters, seeing different sisters. Am I correct in saying that?
Like, what do you mean in contact? Like,
as in, like, have you met sisters? You know, when you meet them, like in cafes and so on.
No, to be honest, no, no, I haven't. I mean, I know some sisters, but I don't. It's not. No, I don't meet them in cafes. I don't go out on a date, meet them, and no, I don't do that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what have you been doing?
Regarding what you mean? Regarding the topic of marriage?
No, yes.
Well, actually, I'm like, I tried this application. It's called Salams, but till now, I was very disappointed. I thought I'll find something, but it wasn't as it was promoted to me.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm telling my family. My family also, they are searching for me. But the thing is, you know, when you want to get married, you're gonna go and ask, like, you're gonna propose. So you should be financially stable. You get my point? I'm not saying you should be financially freedom. You should be like wealthy or rich, but at least you should be financially stable. So, so this is the biggest challenge I have.
How old are you, Muhammad?
Now I am 26.
26. I mean, look, I don't want to give Islamic advice here because I'm not a sheikh, I'm not even talib ilm, so I have to be careful with what I say. But as Muslim, the basic advice I can give you is, you know, when it comes to marrying for the first time, so long as your intentions are sincere and you're willing to work hard, Allah will provide for you, ya akhi. Don't worry about getting your money first and then finding the sister. So long as you are striving, you're working hard, you're moving in a positive direction with your career, you're doing your best. Don't worry about having to have that money and then getting married. That's for the first wife. For the second wife and the third one is different. You do have to have resources. But I'm just saying, the main thing you need to offer a woman is effort. You need to show that you're offering effort, that you're willing to work hard, that you're prepared to sacrifice. You know, she doesn't want to see that you're a bum. She wants to see that you're going places. Because women, they bet on two things. Number one, either he has money already, he has resources. Or number two, I think one day he will have resources. Meaning, he works hard, he's ambitious, he's a hard worker.
They want security. They want security.
Taban, who doesn't want security? Of course. But security can be in the action that you are taking. Does this man work 14 hours a day? Is he putting in that work? Is he working through the weekends? Is he trying as hard as he can? They need to see this effort. It's very important. If you show the effort, the money will eventually come. It takes time. Building wealth takes time. That doesn't mean your life should be on pause in the meanwhile. Especially as Muslims, we are encouraged, as you know, to get married, to save ourselves from haram. Now, when it comes to the second wife and the third one, this is a different story. It's a different story. I'm just saying, for your situation, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
So, yeah, Akhi, I mean, so how are you seeing sisters? Like, how are you receiving the profiles of different sisters? I don't know how it works now. I haven't done it for so long.
You know, as a man, for us, the first impression, it's the looks. We like someone by the looks. But then, you know, looks, it's the first impression. But then I have to meet her. I have to talk to her. I have to see her mentality, her mindset, the level of education she is at, you know. So yeah, so till now, still nothing serious.
I have a question for you, Muhammad. What do you have to offer a sister? What value are you bringing?
I'll make her happy. I'll make her feel secure.
What does that mean? What does I make her happy mean?
I will treat her right. I will satisfy her needs when I'll make her satisfy my needs.
Explain that to me. How will you satisfy her needs?
The needs, every one of us have needs. Affection, whether it's security, affection, like
What
I
Muhammad, what I
support her.
want you to do is,
I feel support
what I
for
want you
her.
to think about, Muhammad, is instead of thinking,
You
what
want
can
to
I,
go into details? Like,
what I want you to think, Muhammad, is instead of thinking, what can I get from a woman? I want you to think, what value can I bring to a woman? And this is why I say to brothers as well, you want to have 2, 3, 4 wives, you need to ask yourself this question. What type of, don't ask the question, Mahdi, where can I find a woman who will accept me to have 3, 4 wives? No, wrong question. The question you need to ask is, what type of man do I need to become to be desirable to 2, 3, 4 women? This is a much better question, and it puts the power back in your hand. Not any man can handle polygyny. I failed in polygyny because I wasn't the correct level of man. I
you
didn't
mean
reach that
before
level.
or now? You mean before or now?
Before. I had 3 wives at one point. And it fell apart. The house of cards fell. Why? Because I wasn't the correct level of man to hold it together. If I was the correct level, I would have made it work, but I wasn't. And that I have to take that responsibility. So the question I ask brothers is, even if it's getting married for the first time, is what do you have to offer? What value are you adding to yourself every day so that you become like a magnet to women? This is the real question. And it puts you back in control. Instead of looking for women left and right, I'm looking for this one, I'm looking for that one. No, I say add value to yourself, become the person that is desirable to women, and watch how they come running to you. You don't have to go nowhere. They will come to you. Do you see the difference in that question, in how I put it?
Yeah, I see the difference, but in my mind, I see this happening maybe for the second wife, third wife, but for the first wife, I think you have to make the first step. You should take the initiative and reach out to the woman. This is
I agree with
my
you.
opinion.
No, you should reach out 100%. I'm not saying just sit there. I think, let me be more clear. I think my point is this, is that the more value you add to yourself as a man, the more attractive you become to women in general. That's the only point I'm making. And ladies, the same applies to you. Don't get it twisted. The exact same applies to you. What do you have to offer a man? What value are you bringing to the table? Because like attracts like. The more value you have, the higher quality partner you will attract. And so I say to you, Akhi Muhammad, think upon this question, because I find brothers too often, and sisters, both just as guilty, is we spend too much time looking for the right person. But the truth is, we need to become the right person first. And then you will attract that person into your life. Are you with me, Akhi?
Yeah, I get your point.
Habibi, Jazakallah khair, Akhi Muhammad.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
It's very important, guys, because you're going to waste, I should say, a lot of time looking for this perfect partner. It's a waste of time. The power is out of your control when you think of it like that. Yes, it's out of your control. This all comes down to control, by the way. I like to be in control of my situation. I don't like feeling out of control. And the way that you are in control of a relationship is adding value to yourself every day. Educating yourself, learning. Why do I have this bookcase behind me right now? I'm learning, educating myself, uplifting myself from ignorance. I need to be able to offer value to the world. This doesn't just apply for relationships, by the way. This applies to any area of life. Think about it. Who becomes elite in any field, whether it's sport, whether it's education, whether it's cooking? It's the person who adds the most value to themselves. Gordon Ramsay is the most renowned chef in the world because he's one of the best chefs in the world. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the most renowned MMA fighter in the world because he's the best MMA fighter in the world. And on and on and on. Khabib didn't become Khabib sitting at home watching Netflix. No, Khabib had to add value to himself every single day for 20 years. 4, 6, 8 hours a day training. He was adding the value of mixed martial arts. Now he is the most valuable mixed martial artist. So the question we must ask ourselves is Not what can I get, but what can I give? My phone just shut off. Okay. Who would like to come on the live next? Comments, my bad. Let me see these comments. 48, yes. Got 48 Laws of Power. I've got all of Robert Greene's books here, except the 50th Law, which is the one he done with 50 Cent. Right. Comments. Never trust a man that has a TV larger than his bookcase. I can't remember where I heard that, but that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. I can't focus on my assignments. Any advice, bro? All right. Shan, let's go through this real quick. Firstly and foremostly, we live in a hyper-connected society. Yeah, our phones enable us to be in contact with pretty much anything we want to be in contact with around the clock. So the first thing is, when you are doing your assignment or any work for that matter, turn the damn phone off. Switch the damn blasted phone off, and don't tell me you need your phone to do work. Figure it out. Find a way to do your work without your phone. On those rare occasions that I've needed to use my phone to do my work, it's been a nightmare. I consider myself quite disciplined, and yet I can't help but get sucked into the damn phone, social media and so on. It's like a shaitan sucking me in. Switch your phone off. Tackle the most important, the most difficult task of the day first thing in the morning, when you have the most energy, when you have the most mental resources. There's a phenomena known as attention residue. Attention residue is each task you do throughout the day, you leave a portion of your brain on that task. I'll prove it to you. Most love, I'll take you on in a second. When you do, well, let's say you get into a fight at work with one of your colleagues. 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, the argument has finished. You've gone home. Is it not true that you're still thinking about that argument? You're still going over it. You're still so mad. That's called attention residue. There is residue of your mind left on that argument, left on that activity. So as the day progresses, you start off with your brain at 100%, and then you start dropping percentages here and there on all the different tasks. So because of this fact, this unavoidable fact, attack your most difficult task first thing in the morning. In this case, you're talking about an assignment. Attack it first thing with your phone off. I hope that helps you. Let's see if we can get this down. Most loved _Adama. Yeah, Adama. I'm inviting you on, my guy or sister. I don't know.
Yes. How you doing?
Assalamu
I just wanted to add on your point with
yes,
social media. How it's just distracting, and if you want to focus on anything, you have to like shut off the phone. Have you read the book called Digital Minimalism?
No, I haven't.
It's a very good book. It talks about this a lot, like how social media is designed to like not distract, but how like there's algorithms and stuff on social media to to best match that person's interests. For example, like gaming, if that person looks into gaming or whatever they look into. So basically,
it throws up stuff that you're interested in.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And if you're not shutting off the phone, like you said, it's just going to be impossible to get anything done.
No, absolutely.
So
it's crazy how good these algorithms are.
Yeah,
like I hardly consume any content on TikTok, and the few occasions that I do, the content is so interesting to me. It's mad. It can suck you in, Yeah,
it's hard to Also, I'm a big fan of your TikToks, man. I'll be watching. I'll be in your comments messing around with the trolls too.
I appreciate it, brother. What's your name, my guy?
Adam,
mashallah. You from the US?
Yeah, I'm from the US. I currently live I'm from New York originally, but now I'm in Washington.
Nice. I appreciate it, Adam. Thank you very much, Akhi.
You too, brother.
Take care, Habibi. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, these phones are no joke, man. These algorithms. Look, social media apps and YouTube, how do they make their money? Through your attention. They monetize your attention. The longer you spend on their apps, the more valuable you are to their advertisers. So just know this. You're like a baqarah, a cow that's being flogged. Let's get every penny we can out of this baqarah. That's literally what we are. They're milking us for all they can. Don't let that happen to you, because every minute these apps steal from you is a minute that you are not spending on yourself, productively yourself. Okay, let's continue with these questions. Nabar Shad, yes, I saw that program, The Social Network. Mad, absolutely mad. Who else would like to come on the live? If you'd like to come on the live, send me a thing. Actually, I'm really stressed out with school GCSEs and I don't know how to get my grades. My teachers are using my grades and I don't know if they're going to drop me a blessed grade. Carbon, my man, 3 years time from now, you won't even think about your GCSEs. What will happen will happen. Put your tawakkul in Allah. Right now, there's literally nothing you can do because we're on lockdown, right? So if you cannot influence the situation right now, why worry about it? I had this discussion with my father once when I was going through a particular trial. And he said to me, you seem awfully relaxed. Why are you so relaxed for? And I said to him, if I worry about it, will it make my situation any better? And he said, no. I said, so why worry about it? Listen, if you can influence your situation, great. Why worry about it? And if you can't influence your situation, then why worry about it? Either way, why worry? For what? If you can influence it, good. No need to worry. And if you can't, okay, I can't influence it. No problem. Pressure's off my shoulders. It is what it is. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. Life is too short to worry about these things. Believe me. Can I come on just to say hi? Sanazli, let's get you on. Go live. If you shut off socials, it will force you to become yourself. Young Hackney. Yeah, to be honest with you, because the algorithm can start to influence when you consume too much content of the same thing. It can start to influence your ideas and perceptions. Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. What's your name, Akhi?
Asaf.
Asaf, how you doing, Akhi?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm from Medina. It's nice to meet you. From Medina?
Wow,
yeah.
mashallah, Medina.
But I'm studying in Melbourne right now.
Okay, nice. Your English is on point, bro.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
MashaAllah. What you got for me, yeah?
Sorry?
What you got for me? Did you want to ask a question?
No, I literally just wanted to come on to say hi.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. I used to live in Medina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to teach in Jamia Taiba. You know Jamia Taiba?
No way.
Yes, way.
Yes. Most of my friends went there. I was the only one who went out.
Oh, nice. Your English is perfect, bro. I would never have guessed. Allahumma barik.
Thank you.
Habibi, mashallah. Yalla, take care, inshallah.
Take care, man. Shukran, ma'as-salama.
Small world, man. Small world. Okay. I'm just worried because I want to become a good pharmacist, inshallah. But if my GCs aren't good, I can't become it. Then maybe Allah will put you on a better path. Habibi, don't worry. Please don't worry. Did you hear what I just said? Will worrying make your situation better? No. It will just give you high blood pressure and diabetes. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Listen, if nobody else, what do I teach on Taiba? Just English. I used to teach English language. If anybody else would like to come on the live, send me a request. Otherwise, I'm going to finish this up, inshallah. And hopefully put my son to bed if he's still awake. Mahdi, can you unwrap more on what a man can bring into a relationship? I power. Yes, akh. Jazakallah khair. That's a really good question. The simple way to answer this is this. What does the market of women value in us men? We must identify what that is and then start adding value to ourselves to become more valuable to the market of women. Now, a lot of people have problems with this. It's like, why should I ask a woman what she likes? Like, I want to make this up for myself. No, that's not how it works. How it works is this. The market dictates what's valuable. Then you give the market what it wants. And I've used the Steve Jobs example many times. He created that computer, the Lisa. He thought it was amazing. He plundered millions into it. It was an epic flop. He ended up losing his job. He was fired from his own company. The market is king. The market dictates what's valuable. If you want to attract women, the market of women, we must find out what it is they find attractive. Now, there's a caveat here. And that caveat is this. We don't ask women, what do they want? First of all, women hardly know what they want, particularly when it comes to men. I'm fine means I'm not fine. Go means come. You know, don't ask. My wife has a brilliant saying. She summarized women's mentality when it comes to relationships like this. What do we want? We don't know. When do we want it? Now. Don't ask the fish how to catch a fish. Go speak to the fisherman. He's caught plenty. You find out from the fisherman, how did you catch all your fish? Because if you ask the fish will say to you, no, no, please don't throw a hook in the water. Don't bait the rod. Don't put a worm on it. We don't ask the fish. We speak to the fisherman. So find out what it is the market of women find valuable, and then go about adding that value in abundance. This is how you become valuable. Right, who's this? Akhi J. Last one. Let's bring this brother on. Akhi underscore J14. Nope, I don't think it's coming on. Book recommendation for a 20-year-old. Book recommendation for a 20-year-old. I say the first book you need to read is Think and Grow Rich. The second book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just start with those two. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book you need to read once a year. One of the most important books you will ever read in your life outside of all the Islamic literature. One of the most important. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I make a habit of reading this book once a year. I look at my notes over it all the time because I make too many mistakes with human beings and I need to remind myself constantly. Okay. Right. Mariam, book recommendation for women. Mariam, I don't know if you're referring to relationships or just for women in general, but I'm gonna make an assumption here that you're referring to relationships, and so I will make a recommendation of this book here by Laura Doyle. I've mentioned it before, The Empowered Wife. Excellent book. Excellent book. Please read that. I would also recommend for both men and women alike this book here called The Passion Trap. This book really helped me to understand a lot of things about relationships, the paradoxical laws of relationships, The Passion Trap. So that and The Empowered Wife. Those are the two books I recommend. In general books, well then the books that I just mentioned, Mariam. The books that I just mentioned. Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How do you know if a woman is good enough to wife? This is a good question. The answer to this question will differ from one man to the next, depending on your values and boundaries. I'm a Muslim man, right? So one of the basic prerequisites for me is that she covers, she wears hijab and she prays 4 times a day. But if you're not Muslim, this might not be a prerequisite for you. Well, it won't be a prerequisite for you. So the question is, what are your values and boundaries? What do you value? What's important to you? Okay, I'll give you another example. It's important for me, for my wife to not have male friends. And it's important for her, for me to not have female friends. I've gone over this many times before. You can't be friends with the opposite sex. Get it out your head. This is not an Islamic thing. This is a fact. You cannot be friends with the opposite sex. So if she has friends of the opposite sex, well, I'm sorry, we're not good for each other. Other more general things, can she be submissive? Does she have a submissive nature? And that's going to largely depend on what type of man you are, because a man who is weak and who is not principled and who is not hardworking, it's going to be difficult for him to command the respect of a woman. So do you see how these two tangle with each other? What type of woman is a good woman? It often comes back down to what type of man are you going to become? Depending on how you are will dictate what you bring out of her. Depending on how she is will dictate what she brings out of you. And round it goes. So I prefer to say, focus on you. Add value to yourself. You will attract that woman that you want. But also know what your values and boundaries are and don't bend on them. Right. Ridwan, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Most loved Adama. Over time. All right. Most loved Adama. Let me see, 8:30. All right. Let's get this going real quick. Last one, inshallah. Yes, Mariam, it's the law of attraction, precisely. Habibi, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. So, on that topic about single mothers,
Sure.
I agree a lot because I was a product of I was a product of being raised by a single mother.
Okay, interesting.
Well, as like from me being young until till I was like 17, 18, when I decided to, move away, and because I knew like I wasn't gonna get the type of, how do I say this? I wasn't gonna learn how to be a man from, my mother.
Can you give us some more detail on your experiences? Do you mind?
What do you mean?
Your experiences growing up, in a single parent household, how that was for you.
I don't know if I want to get too much in that, but I knew like me, I was self-reflecting a lot basically. So, and I knew that me being in that situation, I wasn't going to learn nothing useful about being a man in that over there. So,
a lot of women, when they hear this, they take it personally.
Yeah, which is what.
Pretend I'm a woman. Like I'm gonna say to you what most women say to me, which is, "How dare you say that we can't raise men?" How would you respond to that?
Sure. Yeah, we're men. We're the only one that's gonna know how to, teach younger men how to be men. Even though I'm still young, I'm 20. But I still got a lot to learn. But I was in New York. I was living with my mother. I started realizing, I wasn't going to learn anything useful about being a man over there. So I moved to Washington with my uncle,
Okay. So you live with your uncle now?
Yeah, I live there in Washington over here. So, yeah.
Nice.
I agree with that.
So would you say it's fair to say that it takes a woman to raise a girl into a lady, and it takes a man to raise his boy into a man? Was that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement. I agree. Especially me being, being raised by a woman from my younger age, like from my younger, life.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on and saying that, bro. Thank you very much.
Problem.
You look after yourself. Take care.
You too.
Assalamu alaikum. Respect, brother. Respect. I do appreciate it when people come on and provide first-hand experience like that. I really appreciate it. So jazakumullah khair. Guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I need to fill out my planner, wind down for the evening. Whenever I do lives, it takes me like an hour and a half to wind down from it. So jazakumullah khair. If you sent me DMs, my DM blows up every single day. It's like a job responding to them. I will get through them, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for joining. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.